Hi, I'm Tricia, and welcome to Flew the Coop. Today has been one of those days that I got up and first thing was, I wonder what else I can do to my Roadtrek. I, you know, have thought about camping in my SUV, but it's currently in the garage again. And the reason I was doing that is because I thought this one might break down, but as you see, I took it to Mohegan a couple weekends ago, and I took it all the way to Maryland in May, and I've done a couple other trips. So, not that it might not fail me, but I've come to the conclusion if it does, I call AAA. They'll help me find a rental vehicle and I'll stay in a hotel or something until they get it done. After all, I don't have a job, so I don't have to be at home anytime. So I started the other day. I thought, this is a waste because when my husband and I used this, we slept in it as two twins, with a sofa in the middle because that our other road trek, it just had two twin beds. But this one has the sofa that lays down. And the sofa is so uncomfortable to lay on because it has a crack where the seat and the bottom fit together, of course. And the back of the sofa is like tufted and stuff. So you can feel all those bumps. So I had made like sleeping pads. These are the sleeping pads. And I would roll them up and put them up here underneath where the foot of the bed would have been for the twin beds because you would have them this way. And now that I don't have my husband with me, I'm short enough. I sleep sideways, and it works for me, but I still have this wasted space where the cushions go. So I thought, why? Why have those cushions? Why have to put my pillows here and the things here? And I am keeping, as you've seen, maybe I should have took a picture before I tore it up. This is what I worked on is and roll them up and putting them back there instead of in each one of the corners. And with the cushions there, when I would be laying here sleeping, as you notice, I have a dented cup where the sofa, when I made it, it dented it. I would you couldn't put your cup here because you would go to sleep, but you can't put it on a cushion because it would fall over. So that's going to work out a lot better. So I'm making these two nightstands. And I wasn't happy with them just being bare. And so it took me a little while, but I did like what I did with the sofa. With the sofa in the down position, you can feel that crack still. So I still was using one of the roll up pads. And I'm fine with carrying an extra one. So what I did was I took my old, I haven't used this in a lot of years, and I had taken it to my mother-in-law's, but she wasn't using it. I put my old bed skirt on here. This was the cover that was on the seat so that if you spilled anything, you could just wash it. And then I had little ones on the cushions that were on here. So this all was even. So those cushions were clear up here. Just a total waste of space. And you'd have to take the cushion off in order to get to this little cubby hole. So I didn't have much in there that you weren't going to use. So I put the bed skirt on and I took off right here. There was a board that was covered in this same material so that you couldn't Maybe I can put the bed up so you can see. No. Total mess right now. But this is what you had, and you had a board that came down here, and you had this area for your feet so you could sit on this sofa. Well, all this space is a waste, and I was having trouble. I could not take my screen room with me because you had to work really hard to get it in there if you did not lower this tire. And it's easy enough to lower, and I did it, and I got my screen room in there. But when it's lowered, it's down here a couple feet off of the ground, and it's heavy as all get out to try to put back up. And I didn't want to be doing that, so I wasn't taking my screen room with me. As you can see, there's quite a bit of storage up to this spot here. You can fit a couple, things. Well, not when you had the screen room in here. So I just thought, why am I wasting all this space? And I can now push my screen room up to that corner just from this doorway without lowering that wheel. These pillows, of course, went with my other old bedspread. This blanket is a twin size quilt that I used when we were camping, and I would have to roll it up and put it in here. And this is the quilt my husband used. So every day when you made the bed, you had to roll up your sleeping mat and put it here in the corners, and then you put the pillow in front of it. It was just a place to store your sleeping mat and your pillows. Now I have my pillows, and I only have to use one sleeping mat, and then I have the decorative pillows. I just like this. So that's my improvement, and I did that the other day. And there is some material that I've got that matches this that I was going to make like a little tiny valance, simple valance, and I don't know if I will or not, to go over those so that they can still pull down because they are blackout. So this is my improvement because I now have all this space, and it took me some time, but I do have a vision. So how will I sleep now? Put one of the sleeping mats down and a pillow or two. That's how I've been sleeping anyways, is I've been just putting my sleeping mat down because this has a sheet on it, and I can just take the sheet off and wash it when needed. And I can take these pillows out of this cover if I choose. And I'm ready for bed. There you go. Just sleep. And in the morning, it's not even, I don't think, any harder than what I was doing before. Simply roll up your sleeping mat, put it there, put your pillows here. Actually, I think it might be a lot easier. Put your decorative pillows here. If you get tired of decorative pillows, throw them out and fold up your blanket and stuff it in here. I had to do that anyways all the time. Fold up the blanket and put it up here, and then put my other pillows on the sofa after I had got it into its upright position. And then I had to roll up my sleeping mat and tuck it up here and put these pillows up there, etc. So actually, I thought that was a lot easier. And I was really happy with that. And then this morning, I woke up and I'm thinking, because I kept trying all kinds of things for these here, what I'm calling nightstands. And it's just, I'm this stickler for evenness. And everything I tried other, like a picnic basket that I had, an antique picnic basket that was my mother's. And I thought, okay, it could work. And I tried, and these have a whole thing that they go in that you put together. And I had got that for in my SUV when I was going to make it into a camping vehicle. And I thought, well, let's try that. But it was plastic and it just didn't seem to fit with all the wood in here. So I thought, I have this stand. It's actually a shower bench, and you can slide this side out. I'm not going to do it right now because I have my power bank in there, but it slides out to whatever size you want. And I have these here bins that go in the plastic and metal uh, cubby holder thing. Which I had put it in here, and I put my power bank here. I put one of the bins on top of the power bank that holds all of the cords for the power bank. I don't know if I'll take my solar panels with me or anything. And then I have one over here. I had originally, I have all of my electronics in this basket thing here. I'm going to put them in this thing here because a lot of them I don't use. I have the charger for all my batteries and stuff. So I'm going to be putting them in something, probably in this, because I don't get them out very much. And this, when it wedges in there, it makes this so it does not move. I'm going to also, and this is so heavy, this will probably slide out. But I'm going to try and figure out how to attach this. So I tried on this side. I tried all kinds of other things. And this is going to work out real good. I just am going to love this. To have a nightstand when I'm sleeping, to throw your keys and do all this other stuff. So I thought, well, when I put the one and it looked too modern, I guess, or something. Anyways, I thought, just go to Amazon and get you another one of these shower benches. And where you can make it the size. This side over here is shorter there, and this cabinet's littler, and they end up at the same spot, but this is shorter. So that way I can move the side in so that it fits onto this side. And that's going to work perfect for me. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put this in there. No, this will not fit. It might if I make it. It won't fit. So what I'm going to have is this little one here and this one on the top, just like over here. And then I don't know what I'll put here in this other spot. It could just be a basket or something. I'll probably find something. But now I'm going to be even. And I'm all about the even. I have some compulsions and obsessions. Anybody that watches my channel knows that. So that's what I worked on all day. And you don't know how many things I brought out here and took back in. And when I took them back in, I put them away because that is my new thing now. Take it and put it away now instead of piling it all up. And then you have this big old pile of stuff that you have to put away. And so that's what my idea is for these sides. And I'm really going to like that I can get in here because I thought, well, I could take my rocks. I know, what is it about your rocks, Tricia? Quit talking about the rock. To paint or some other craft stuff that I don't currently take will fit down in there. yeah, I'm happy with it. It's going to work out really good. Um, this basically was wasted space. Now, I did have my laptop would fit in its case or its thing and shoved in behind the pillows and everything. But once I get rid of this basket with my stuff, it can lay up in there, or it could, when I'm camped and stopped, all I have to do is just at night lay it here and not all that putting it in a bag and everything. So I'm really happy with this, even though it took me all day to come up with it. And then I thought, how am I going to cover this hole? I'll show you pictures, but this side has a hole that, Roadtrek thought of everything. So there's a table and there's a pole that would stay up there, and then there's a hole in this floor, which I bought a plug to put over it because I got irritated with that hole. And the bottom of the table, has that connection for, so they made this hole so that you could put the table here under the cushion. Of course, who's going to take this cushion off, pull that table off, go get a pole, do all this stuff, when I got a table up there that is really easy to pull out. So, yeah. And then you couldn't get into the table because these here, if you see, these corners, you couldn't sit on the cushions like as an ottoman or something. And you couldn't sit there at the table neither. And with the sofa just coming to about here, what was the point in this big old table? Wendell couldn't get around it. I couldn't get around it. So we didn't even carry it. But there's a hole there. And I worked and I'm thinking, I've got a jigsaw and I do have a piece of this same wood that was under a coffee pot. When we bought this, there was a coffee pot up there over the closet that I had no need for a coffee pot. And it has a piece of wood, and I'm thinking if I can get the right size, I can just kind of put that hole and cover that hole. So, but right now I just did some cardboard, cut out some different cardboard and stuff, and made a little round circle. It's irritating to my eye, but I know I'll get it fixed here soon. I have been looking at some other Roadtreks. There's an SS Agile. It's on a Mercedes Sprinter van, and I like it. And I'm going to tell you, I was tempted to go look at it and possibly buy it. I had met another lady at a meetup that had one, and I liked it. But the more I investigated, the more I'm like, I don't think I want that diesel engine. I don't think I want a Mercedes because it's hard to get parts, is what I'm hearing. And I don't know if my mechanic works on Mercedes. So I do know he works on this Chevy. And I like this. And I kept thinking, well, if I bought another one, I would want to keep this. This was Window and Eyes. And, I just am not ready to give it up. And the one thing about the newer ones, I'll show you what I like about this older one. With the newer one, they don't have this third passenger seat. The potty is just the potty, you know. You just come in here, turn around, sit down. Doesn't take up a lot of room. And then I have this storage area up here. The new one, they took out this seat, so the bathroom would be like here. So it'd have double doors on it. And the window here was in the bathroom. So there's no storage in the top. The toilet doesn't go this way, it goes sideways. So you have to actually get into this here space and sit sideways. And then you don't have this up here. So, and the TV would be over here on this wall. and you don't have this cabinet at all, which makes it nice that you can see straight through. I understand that. And you do not have this closet. Look at all the space I have in the closet. So, and you have the microwave is down here. I don't understand. Here is that table I was talking about. So you just pull your table out. There is a thing out here that you slide out. But there you go. Table. So after you put it back in, I took pool noodles, cut little pieces. As you notice, I use pool noodles in a lot of things here. And I will shove them in here to keep this from coming out. Close the little door and you're done. And I also like the control panels because they're kind of just very easy to do. You just push this button and you can tell the levels of your propane, your water levels, your gray tank and your black tank, and how much battery life you have. Here is how you would turn on and start your water heater. And here is where you'd start your generator. And then you have the inverter that if you would push this, then you could watch TV, maybe do another small appliance of some sort. I don't know if you could do the microwave. I'm not sure you could. But I can do the microwave on my power bank because I tried that. And then you've got your porch light. And I also like the thermostat. It's very easy. I can do that in the dark. This one, if you're plugged in, of course, you can do the heat from this. It's got a heat pump in it and an air conditioner. Or you can use the propane heater. And just, if you get too hot or too cold, I can feel this button and move it. I don't have to look on an app or do any of that other stuff. Now we're on the outside, and I'll tell you what I like about this Roadtrek. It does have an outdoor shower. The new one that I was looking about, it's not new, but the new ones are the same as the one I was looking at. It has a shower. It doesn't have this storage compartment. So you have no place to put this stuff. So you'd have to put it in under the bed. This one has the electrical cord. It's hardwired to the camper. So you don't have to plug a cord in, then plug it into the thing. So I do like that. Also, right here is your macerator pump. It's for your waste, your black tank and your gray tank. And here's your stuff to pull to empty the gray tank and the black tank. The new ones, they don't have that. So you have to hook up your macerator hose. You have to hook up everything. And then all you do for the macerator is this button right here. You push it and it pumps everything out. I like that. So what were the things that I liked about the other one? It was newer. It had less miles. I think it only had like 48,000 miles on it. And this one has over 100,000. So it was more modern too. The wood and everything, lighter feeling. And where it didn't have the cabinet, you had more open space that wasn't taken up with stuff. On the outside, it has windows all the way down, so it looks more like a passenger van. It was taller. If you see, I'm 5'4". Maybe you can't see. As you see, I'm 5'4", and when you're in this back part, anybody taller would hit their head. But I'm fine with it. My awning kind of blends in And the awning on the new one is just kind of like stuck on top. This one, you have to really get it up so that, the door will open and everything, because I have barn doors. And that's another thing I like about this one. I actually like the barn doors that open individually instead of the great big long uh, sliding door. And so you couldn't have with a sliding door, you can't have these type windows. I like these where you can open them when it's raining and the rain comes off. So this was supposed to be my part of saying what I liked about it. And I'm just finding out more things that I don't like about it. Just the mechanical issues and putting that DEF or whatever in with every time you fill up with your diesel or something. I don't even know nothing about it. So I think I will. Oh, I like the backup camera. But these things I can fix about mine. I do like a digital speedometer with my eyes so I don't have to look away and try and figure out what that needle is pointed at. Yeah, that can be fixed too. And I can get a backup camera. I can get, if I need to get a new transmission in this, it's going to be a lot cheaper than the whole new van. So as long as the frame is okay on this and all the stuff is inside, I do need to get the generator fixed. But I don't really even care if I have a generator. I didn't use it that much anyways. It would be nice for your air conditioning and stuff but most of the campgrounds, if you go to campgrounds, and that's what we didn't do, Wendell and I, and that's why I was in no hurry to replace that microwave that I did. Sorry, Wendell. Um, because I was going to campgrounds that had electricity, so you don't need a generator. And I think, I liked it. I loved my other Roadtrek, and it didn't have a generator at all. And it had the two twin beds. It was the same model, a 190 Popular, and it really had some antique stuff. And it was round, and it was on a Dodge, and I still loved it. I hated getting rid of it, to be honest with you. I had plans for it, and I had made all the curtains, and it was kind of like just mine. And I'm making this one mine now. Wendell loved this one a lot better than the other one. The other one was hard to drive. This one, I enjoy driving it. I actually like the stupid simple controls. If you're hot, you can feel and say, okay, turn this little knob. I know this knob is going to turn it this way or that way. And there's just nothing on it. I hate all the electronics in my SUV. And I think this is probably getting very long, but this is kind of a tour of my Roadtrek. And I should finish up a tour then. You got all this here. And the new one, you don't, because it comes back here. So you have like a storage like here. So you have to dunk. The new one doesn't have this ledge. I like my ledge. There's all my pins of places we went and some other things on there. And where's Wendell's gorilla? That's Wendell's gorilla. And as you can see, the stupid simple stuff. And I guess you have the fridge with the freezer. That runs on propane too. The other one had solar panel. That was another thing I liked. But I've never really needed the electricity in this one because I'll run the refrigerator off of propane. If I'm plugged up, then it runs off of electricity. My other Roadtrek, it was a three-way one, so it would run off of your battery system. But this one, they replaced the refrigerator before I bought it, and the two-way was a lot cheaper than the three-way. And I do have the microwave now. You have all these cubby holes. I made these boxes, and then I've got two other boxes in there that we would take all the little condiments and stuff from takeout and stuff, and have your mayonnaise and your ketchup and everything in there. And here is my drawer, has everything in it that you could need. I have 2 spoons, 2 forks, 2 knives. I don't need 2 of everything. And under here, you have all your pots and pans and everything. And the trash can is just hooked on there. Put a bag in it, close it. So you have your sink and a 2-burner propane stove. So, cooking with gas. I think I showed you everything else. These cabinets where I keep the blankets, they go all the way back to the back. I got stuff up there. This one has my fan in it. It runs off of the same batteries. I got a electric screwdriver that runs off of the same ones. I've got a this light, and this is a really bright light. That's Ryobi. I don't get no money for saying this, but I do like them. I don't like the green color, but I was trying to turn this on to show you. It's really bright. So that's kind of all you need. And I have my battery charger to charge up these batteries. And if everything's working off the same battery, when you're not hooked up to electric, it's okay. Even when I'm not hooked up to electric, these lights still work off of my house batteries. And I have 2 house batteries in this one. And I've never had a problem, because if you're traveling, you charge up the batteries as you go. So, yeah, I love my camper. But if anything happens to it, I'm not getting one of those new fancy ones with all the crazy stuff on it. I'll get me a van, and I'll just put in the stuff I need or want. So I'm not going to look any further for another Roadtrek. Later, taters. Bye for now.